What I will suggest, or what will be my choice between this and that model? This is number one question that I have received in the last few years. In this video, I'll try to explain once again how to choose your motorcycle. Stay with me. Welcome back. If you don't know me, my name is Pavlin, I'm a motorcycle traveler. In this channel I usually upload anything related to long motorcycle trips, so you might consider subscribing. Back to the question, how to choose your motorcycle. First and very important is to use your common sense. Unfortunately, the common sense is not so common nowadays. The adventure obsession or the adventure flu spread very fast, and the biggest motorcycle adventure companies, they know very well that, and they use it to sell their expensive products. Even if you have unlimited budget, you still need to choose wisely, otherwise you're just wasting your money. What is the point to spend $25,000 for a motorcycle and more $5,000 for gear and keep everything in the garage? I will understand if you're some kind of collector or bored millionaire, but if you're not, it is absolutely nonsense. I don't want even to talk about people who don't have the money and take everything on credit. To buy all of this with the idea to have a better adventure experience. Oh, come on guys, you're not 16 years old, or maybe you are. As I said already, the common sense is not so common. As usual, I ramble a lot without saying anything, so let's finally go to the topic, how to choose your motorcycle. The first and maybe the most important is to buy a motorcycle that you can afford. This will give you a chance to spend more money for traveling instead of paying the bills every month, because in the end you bought the motorcycle for traveling, right? Or maybe not. The common sense is not so common. The second is to buy a motorcycle that suits you. If you're 1.60, 70 kilograms small guy, 250 kilograms GS 1200 Adventure is going to be way out of your possibilities. Keep in mind that the bikes sometimes need to be pushed or lifted from the ground. You can do it once in front of your garage when you're relaxed, when you have a lot of strength, but when you're on the field, when you're on the dirt roads, for example, or somewhere on the mountains alone, you will be exhausted. You will be fully dressed and all of that. Probably you will be dehydrated already. And to lift the bikes once or twice will be like impossible task. On the top of all of this, you have to consider the additional weight, your luggage. Some of you take way too much, 30, 50, 60, 80 kilograms. What are you gonna do if you're stuck under the bike? If you fell and the bike is on the top of you? You're too small, you're weak, you can't lift it. Not with all of this luggage, it's going to be something like 300 kilograms. What about if your leg is broken, your arm is broken, or you're hurt? How are you gonna lift the bike? You can't do it, it's impossible, because it will be 4 times of your weight. You have to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger to be able to lift the bike. And on the other hand, if you choose to have a small and light bike, that's okay. This is maybe the way to go, but if you're a big guy with my size or even taller, 190 or more, and you get one of these small 250cc, it's going to be a funny picture. First of all, it's not going to suit you ergonomically, and it's not going to be comfortable at all. I'm not going to discuss even the possibility to ride it on the highways or twisty roads or whatever. It's going to be way more difficult. That's why to choose the bike is always very personal, and you don't need to watch all these YouTube guys telling you that this is the best bike, or this is the best bike, or this is the top model, or this is the best of all. It all depends from your needs. The third very important point is reliability, especially if you plan to go on the long trips far away from your country. I talk a lot about this on my channel, but common sense is not so common. For example, many of you choose to believe that Royal Enfield Himalaya is the perfect adventure bike just because Ichibu's traveling from India and now in South America. But what most of you missed is that both bikes of Ichibu's did not reach even 50,000 kilometers yet, and on both bikes she's got a lot of problems, clutch plates, a lot of bearings and a lot of electronic problems and many more. What you also need to consider that she's got 2 brand new bikes. She is no more than 60 kilograms, a small lady. On the last trip she's traveling even with a light luggage, and she's a very gentle rider. If some of you big guys take this motorcycle and ride it hard as usually you ride it on and off-road, it will fall apart for 20,000 kilometers. And you want to tell me that this is a reliable bike? No, thank you. Common sense is not so common. With this, I'm not saying that the Himalaya is absolutely crap. No! I rode this bike in India more than 80,000 kilometers on any terrains. It's performed perfectly well everywhere. It's actually surprised me how good it is. The idea of this bike is great. But the quality, the build quality, is just terrible. I even made a video about it. The title of the video was Open Letter to Royal Enfield, to encourage them to check some parts and just improve it a little bit. Because when something is good, it doesn't mean that it cannot be improved. And many people get this video absolutely wrong. The idea was to show you the quality of the bike, to tell you the weak spots of the bike, not to blame Royal Enfield or to tell you that it's absolutely crap. Because most of you guys will look on this bike, go to the shop, see the prices, they see the reviews, they see each booth and say wonderful, and they're gonna buy it without even have a chance to ride it properly. But when you start riding this bike, then you realize what you bought. This was the idea. As I said, many people until today still did not get the idea. If you're interested, you can watch it here. Many from the watchers of that video, especially from India, they took it too personally. They feel offended that I said so many bad things about Royal Enfield. They pointed to me, "You're an idiot, you have to buy a GS 1200 Adventure, you're too big, why you decide to buy this Royal Enfield?" They don't even know, they don't even notice that this is not my bike, I just rode it in India and Nepal. And I never got the idea to buy this bike because I saw what kind of reliability it has. I don't want to buy a bike to last 50,000 kilometers because this is what guys from Royal Enfield said to me. When I asked them about the quality and how long this engine is going to last, they said, well, we don't think that it's going to be more than 50,000, and until this moment, 2 years ago, they still did not have a model with more than 50,000 kilometers. So now for someone to tell me that this is the best adventure bike, it's just common sense is not so common. The fourth very important point is the type of the trips you plan to make, short or long, road or off-road or mixed adventure type, alone or with pillion, in your country or outside of the country. When you have the answers of all of those questions, you will be able, without any problems, by using your common sense to find the bike you need. For example, if you ride a brand new bike equipped with top technologies and all of this electronics, I will think twice before I decided to go to completely remote areas. I'm not saying that it is impossible. No, many people did it already. But if you have any kind of technical problems which require computer and a special garage, it's more likely to spend more time and money until you fix it compared to a simple, reliable and just old machine. There are garages and mechanics everywhere around the world, but they are different and they have different skill levels. I'm not going to discuss even the problem with the spare parts or simple things like a motorcycle, proper motorcycle oils. In some countries, this is like mission impossible. So guys, these are the 5 points I recommend to each and every one of you to have in mind before you decide to buy your motorcycle, especially if you plan a long trips. Now, considering all of this, I will tell you what will be my choice. Number one, I will buy a motorcycle that I can afford and pay in cash. Stage payments or credit is something I have zero interest. Number two, it needs to be big enough. I want to have a comfortable riding position and to be able to ride it all day long. I will look around 200 kilograms. If it's a little bit more, I will try to shave it a bit and go around these kilograms. But 200 is enough. This weight will allow me to pick it up a number of times if I have to. Also, I will look for a steel frame because I need the bike to be with some kind of proven durability because there will be many drops. I don't want to cry every time when the bike hit the ground. Number three, because I travel alone, everything above 7 or 800 cc is just pointless to me. I want the bike to be able to be ridden on the highway with 110, 120 kilometers per hour, but I also want the bike to perform very well on the back roads, twisty roads, to be able to twist and overtake easy. So I need a decent power, no less than 50 horsepower, something like that, roughly. I also want the bike to be decent and to have some possibility on the dirt roads. I'm not talking to be perfect on the dirt roads, perfect off-road machine. No, I want to have possibility to go through if I have to. And when I have all of this in mind, my conclusion is that I need something like a middleweight, dual sport or adventure type of motorcycle. Number 4 is reliability. This is one of my top priorities. When I buy a bike, I will expect it to last at least 100,000 kilometers without any serious problems, which is mean that the engine needs to be already proved. So I'm not gonna buy the last model or the last hype just because of it. I will wait to see people to prove it, real owners, real reviews, and then I can purchase it. And my last point, number 5, is to be able to maintain the bike alone. If all of these boxes are checked, I will buy it, no doubt. Common sense, right? So of course, when I buy it, I'm gonna make some kind of modifications, but they will be mostly to improve my riding comfort, not to change the whole bike. That's everything for today, guys. I hope that this information will be useful for someone to make the right decisions. If you like to support the channel, all the links are in the description down below. If you have nothing to do and you want to watch a playlist with the top most popular adventure motorcycles, click on that window. As usual, always ride safe and see you next time. Ciao.